Well, for the fans that love their romance, for the fans that have been watching the coffee couch, all with that wit and humor and oomph, and the man who's been charming his pants off from Coffee with Karan to Love You Zindagi, and now in and as Raees. Raees bulaye ya Shah Rukh Khan, ek hi baat hai. Shah Rukh Khan, the world's biggest superstar, is joining us in conversation to celebrate the success of Raees. King Khan, welcome to Sabras Radio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Sabras, as always, for having me over and giving me an opportunity to speak to everybody.
The opportunity is ours. It feels, when I say Shah Rukh, it feels like, just say, I don't want to say Buzurg, but someone with your stature and known easily without any, question, world's biggest superstar. I don't know how to refer to you as, but for now, jo dimag mein hai sabke wo hai Raees, and you're celebrating. It's just been a week. It feels longer because it's been, surrounded by not controversies, by battles and things that you've won over, and you've finally come on the big screen with Maida. How are you celebrating at the moment?
First of all, we are all trying to get together and do one interview together. Technology is good enough to make us do that.
Yes.
We've been doing it separately, time constraints. I'm also in the middle of shoot of another film and had to complete the film. So we've been running around different cities, different parts of the country, put the film on floor and get it released with everything that was going around it. So now it's like, it's a good time. It's over and done with. It's a success. And to whatever extent, for us, it's a really happy moment. So we're just trying to get together and do one collective interview if we can. But we again miss out on Zishan. He's not around. But it's funny. I'm just talking to each other and saying, glad we did what we did. And finally, everybody seems to be liking it. Or most people seem to be liking it.
Well, most people are, and it's just a search away. Anyone who's on your Twitter, anyone who's seen critics' reviews, and anyone who's watched it will definitely have told their friends that, to see you from apart. Obviously, we love you as a romance hero, leading one of those stereotypes you don't like. But seeing you in a different avatar had some reservations for fans of yours. That will we like Shah Rukh in a very villainous avatar and still like the character, despite liking Shah Rukh and then liking him for doing bad things on screen. So I mean, what's the response like? What would you say one response from someone in the film fraternity or fan has said to you has been the most surprising for you?
I see the bottom line for a role like this is because, there always is a discussion when you're a star and you're an actor that, the actor can do any role and get away with it, but the star has certain responsibilities because people love you personally too.
Yes.
So the dichotomy of doing a bad guy role, you have to be very clear that he won't be glorified, it's an unreal character, and still say something that you can take back home and say, okay, there was something good to take back home even from this bad world, and the retribution and all put aside. This guy has a life story which one can kind of learn something from to be able to see, the silver lining. The idea is that when you make a film about a dark cloud. So I think that is the biggest compliment that most people who saw it have come out and said, you know what, the thing that you say about unity between religions, the thought between standing up for your actions and taking responsibilities, even if it means the direst of consequences. I think all that makes you a protagonist or a person that you can think about and say, okay, yeah, there is some silver lining to it. So most of the compliments I take from that aspect, because it's difficult to walk this thin line of being a star and an actor and trying to both together.
And who better to do it than someone yourself? I know you constantly have to justify. You're not glorifying any real life character. You're not glorifying doing bad things. There is a silver lining, and people are taking that message home. At least here in the UK, and we were really glad that it released in the same time last week, Wednesday. But talking about taking it home, the people have taken a bit more than home. People are taking Raees to interviews. There's an article, and you may or may not have come across this. But a man who claims to be your biggest fan recently apparently gave an interview for a sales profile in a startup firm. He answered all questions using the dialogues from your film, and he got the job. What would you like to say to this fan who's listening right now, if he is?
Oh, wow. I love you very much. I mean, to be able to take dialogue. I don't know how we had done Kaun Mai Kalar Hai, Kaun Mai Kalar Hai, Kaun Mai Kalar Hai.
There was a whole extract of the interview. सवाल कौन से थे और जवाब कौन से दिए. But I had to bring it up to you because you're quite, you're quite with it when it comes to finding out what people are saying about your films or the work, and you're quite active on hashtag AskSRK. So that's one of my favorite moments in the morning when I'm doing my show. In India, it's the time where you're doing I'm SRK, and what is more hilarious is the questions that you actually choose to answer. So please keep that going. And
people are sweet. They ask me some really offbeat questions, to say the least. And I find it sweet that, they would think X about me or Y about me, seeing me from the outside, not realizing.
But
and actually, I'd have the most regular life.
Absolutely, just a normal Khan in Manat. But it's nice to see those questions rather than being asked, Raees versus Kabil, aapka kya kehna hai, kind of thing. So
no, those are also asked. Just ignore them.
Oh,
it's easier to ignore them on Twitter.
Yes, it is. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask you any of that.
Or block the guys who are like that. Yeah.
No, absolutely. We have no intentions of asking you what Raees versus Kabil, each to their own merit. And, we see you as for what you are and the work that you do. But also, talking about seeing you, people in Pakistan have not been able to see Raees. Any update you can give us to the Pakistani fans who are looking to see?
I've been told by distributors that maybe in a day or two it might be now that Kabil has been given the NOC.
Gee.
So one was just waiting for the NOCs to come from there. I think in a day or two, I think we'd get the feedback. I think it went for censors or NOC, one of the two today.
Mm-hmm.
And our distributors will call up and let us know if it's going to release. So, inshallah, it'll be nice if people can see it, especially for Myra.
Especially for Myra. She's been really sad. I know she's been gone on record and said that she deserves a space on those interview couches that you are giving to say her, her opportunities she's had. And it's not very often to see, Pakistani actresses work with you. I mean, what is it like working with Myra? I know it's a cliche question, but she's from a Pakistani film industry, very strong, and TV series background. Her, what would you say is, working-wise, the ethos slightly different than Bollywood actresses, or is she?
No,
at
all.
To
I'll just say one thing. That which country where one belongs to. We have wonderful actresses like Deepika Padukone working in America.
Mm-hmm.
We have Irfan Khan working in America. We have Om Puri ji working in England.
Gee.
So actively. I think actors don't have any different ethos or language. They're languages of expression. So there is no difference just by virtue of which country or which state or which place one comes from. I think each one brings to the table some experience and circumstances of life, and where I think Mahira scores, and I think even Nawazuddin, they come from a more real-based acting background because of whatever they've been exposed to as yet.
Of course.
Not such a heavily, popular, tilted cinema, like perhaps Raees is also to a certain extent. So, they bring in a lot of maturity and realism to the film, which helped me a lot. And, with ease. I like actors who work with ease without becoming too intense. And I think that's one thing. We can bring something to the table what she or he hasn't done before, because we've done that more often. And then she brings to the table a little bit of intensity and reality-based acting, which was a huge requisite for Raees. So extremely good working with her, extremely easy working with her. And I'm sure she's grown up watching me. So she likes the work I've done, and she told me also very shyly once or twice. But really wonderful to work with her. Really wonderful.
That's so glad to hear. And hopefully, political clashes aside, we can get to see more of this amazing actors from any part of the world, not just Pakistan, come in and do these collaborations and be part of, I can easily say, India or Bollywood, that Bollywood does. So in terms of, so hopefully we'll see it in Pakistan. This is a question that I saw on Twitter that was quite frequently asked. Also, another thing about Raees is what I felt personally now is when I saw the song Leila Mein Leila, and I found out that Shah Rukh Khan is now working with Sunny Leone, doing that dance and number, and I felt so happy that there's someone out there that is not stereotyping her, not giving her the grief that people have been giving her, in interviews, anywhere she goes, because of the background she's had. Did you have any reservations working with Sunny?
Not at all. I mean, I'd be very honest. I keep on harping about the aspect that, actors, we bring in equality, we bring in love. I think the least judgmental of people are artists, especially in the Indian film industry and the South Indian film industry, Punjabi film industry, Gujarati film industry. I think you just come and, participate in an artistic expression, whether it's a commercial film, whether it's an artistic film or a niche film. And you have to be, respecting each other for what you bring to the table.
Absolutely.
And I don't think, and I just want to point this out, I've not said this before, I'll say this now, even to consider anybody's where I come from. I mean, that way you can consider my background, where I come from.
Of course.
And would that make me a better or a lesser performer? I think, especially being a woman, I think these things should not even be questioned. These things should not have been even brought forth before or later. And I hope it rests it. I mean, I hope it doesn't become a big thing that Sunny's acting with XYZ actor.
I really hope so too.
And it's beautiful.
I know. I made it sound the question the way it sounded. It felt like it's a big deal.
No.
But
no, I don't mean you. I don't mean it's good you asked. I meant I haven't answered it like this. I just wanted everyone to know that. I take this opportunity from your question, Jimmy.
No,
it's important.
Yeah, absolutely,
that,
really
it's
important.
really nice that people should. And it's good the way you put it. It's good that everybody comes, does their job, and we keep on harping about equality and goodness and women empowerment, and then we turn back to this old age, maximum of belittling a lady. Everybody has to do what they have to do, and we are not to stand in judgment between you and I and everybody else who is better than the other. And I remember this line. When I was watching these plays in National School of Drama, and there was a line by in a play, I think Raees Khan or something, which said, "Khuda hame khoon aur rang se nahi, amal se parakta hai." And I think genuinely in today's time and age, what we do, how we do it, we'll be judged if we needed to be judged by our actions, by our goodness, by what we do to live a good life.
Brilliantly put. I was dying to ask you, have this conversation, not ask you. I don't want to treat it like an interview, but, just have this conversation with you and say thank you from me to, not go with the masses or the mentality that people have and, have any reservations to do any sort of work that, and I was amazed.
And the actions speak louder, and one does not have to talk about it. That's why I haven't talked about it. One should just do the stuff that needs to be done.
Of
and
course.
Respect each other on that front, even without bringing this up as an important thing. That's why before the film release, I've never even spoken about this because it's not an important thing to even speak about.
No, it's not.
Your actions speak.
Yeah.
And I really am happy that Rahul and these are the casting people, Rahul, Dholakia, Farhan, and Ritesh. They called me up and they said, Sunny is doing the song, she's got the date, and it's wonderful that they chose her. Because of the talent she has, and I think the damn song looks fantastic.
Of course it does. Actually, you've just reminded me, Shah Rukh. In India, seat se kood ke naachna, seat marna, it's very, very, very normal. It feels very at home. But for something like that to happen in the UK, it's shocking. And that happened. There's videos, I don't know if you've seen, I know you're very active on social network. People actually parde ke aage gaye, yahan par bahut, they're very strict with people moving even during the screening.
Yeah.
But people got up, whistled, jumped, danced, sang, voted for that song. And, here's to a new era. Here's toasting to Sunny Leone and her success and the way she's, reached. And to you for allowing such space to happen, such... barriers to be broken as well, and helping people change their mentality or shed light onto this clouded judgment that they have of people. But Shah Rukh, I have to say, hats off. Now, if I were to ask you, for those people still considering going out there to watch Shah Rukh, because most people are very, very possessive about you on screen and they only want to see you as a romantic hero, what would you say to them for Raees, in reference to Raees?
There's enough romance. This is not a romantic film. It's a life journey of a person.
Yes.
But obviously, a part of the journey has romance in it, so there is enough romance in it. And it's like an old world charm romance, I think. It's very sweet, small bits and pieces, and we had this wonderful song by my favorite singer, Sonu Nigam, and we haven't been able to find space for it in the film because, like I said, it wasn't a romantic film.
Yes.
We needed to give space to all the quietude of the film, the essence of the film. So, unfortunately, we had to take it off, and we'd always assumed, inshallah, if the film does well, will introduce the song. So I just told my office tonight, let's put that song out.
I saw that
It's a really
yesterday.
nice song,
Yes.
Halka Halka. It's a really nice song in the rain and stuff, and yeah, it's got all the romantic stuff. I miss it too, so I'm going to put it out that tonight, tomorrow for sure. And I hope people enjoy it.
You
And
know,
then inshallah, if the film goes on like this, we'll put it back in the film, and yeah, to hell with the length.
exactly. To hell with that. No, reservations speaking like that. But I'm so glad that Raees has done so well, and people are opening up to that side of you as a character, even though they've seen you play. Likes of Dar and the Bad Boy before. But I'm glad we had this conversation. I'd like to call it a conversation. They keep saying interview. But with people like you in the industry, it always feels like a conversation. It's an absolute honor, Shah Rukh, to have you share a few words of how you're celebrating Raees. And I can't sum up this conversation without asking you just for a dialogue or two of your favorite from Raees.
Okay. अम्मी जान कहती थी कोई भी धंधा छोटा नहीं होता और धंधे से बड़ा कोई धर्म नहीं होता.
And there you have it. King Khan, the world's biggest superstar, is a superstar for a reason. You can see how much warmth and genuineness he has in anything that he does. And of course, Raees, no introduction needed, out in cinemas since last week and still continues to roll on the box office, starring Shah Rukh Khan in and as Raees alongside Pakistani's superstar Mahira Khan.